What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today, Spider-Man is demonic. It's the truth, folks. I didn't know this, you didn't know this, but it's true. Kind of ridiculous, I think we can all agree. That is a very ridiculous statement, but I mean, this woman has to be correct. We just recently took a look at a story regarding superheroes just the other day, and unfortunately, we're back again with some more crazy news regarding superheroes. Because apparently, there's a statue in Nebraska that is satanic. And, yeah, I don't know how you really get the idea behind that, but yeah, that's what this woman's thinking. So, anyways, with that being said, guys, Nebraska woman calls for a Spider-Man statue to be taken down over demonic imagery, despite it being a faith-based art project. A Nebraska woman is asking that a sculpture depicting the hands of Spider-Man be taken down over claims that the statue is demonic and anti-Christian, despite the fact that it was built as part of a faith-based community organization project. Paige Schuppen? Something? Sent an email on July 2nd to the mayor's office calling for a statue placed outside the Lincoln Children's Zoo to be relocated, stating that the imagery of two open hands resembled the devil's horns. This is anti-Christian and demonic and completely inappropriate and offensive to place in front of the children's zoo and the gardens where couples are married, her email read. She went on to say that the sculpture was offensive to many people in the area and called it a hate crime against the church, even likening it to the hate and violence incited by the Ku Klux Klan. What? You understand that devil worshipping is anti-Christian and not a religion of its own. You have to be against the church in order to hold these evil beliefs. It is a hate crime, capitalized by the way, against the church. So I'm gonna show you these hands, folks. Not in a fighting way, I didn't mean I'm gonna like knock you out, but I'm gonna show you these hands, folks. This is Spider-Man's hands. This is the statue. Honestly, I think this statue's pretty gangster. This is a sweet statue, dude. I wish we had something like this where I live, man. Now, this was first displayed for a few weeks without the webs, but a couple weeks later, the webs were added, so this is a picture where there are no webs, but it does now have Spider-Man's infamous webs added onto it. So, yeah, she's freaking out, right? Because apparently this is satanic. Oh my god. I can't believe it, man. It's almost, how do you not know about Spider-Man? It's insane. People who don't even know about superheroes know about Spider-Man. Come on now. Spider-Man is one of the most infamous superheroes of all time. Like, he's one of the most popular, you know? Might I add, in case you didn't know this, because I know a lot of you aren't into superheroes, the way that Spider-Man shoots his webs this is what he does with his hands. Like, he makes that hand gesture and he shoots the webs, and that's like how he travels around on his webs and stuff and, you know, pulls people towards him and, you know, does Spider-Man stuff. That's how he activates his web shooters. That is part of Spider-Man's persona, is him doing that. So this statue isn't even like a one-off hand gesture of Spider-Man like throwing up gang signs. This is Spider-Man like doing something that he does all the time in comic books, in movies, in games. This is like one of the most common things you'd ever see him doing. So the fact that anybody would see this and just wouldn't immediately recognize it, even if you don't really, you know, even know about superheroes, is just confusing to me, but whatever. I think I gotta respond to some of these comments. Apparently it's anti-Christian. Don't necessarily understand how that is. It's demonic. Obviously, that's an absurd comment to make. It's inappropriate and offensive to place in front of a children's zoo and gardens. You know, I guess it's inappropriate to include, you know, a superhero, which, you know, hundreds of millions, if not billions of kids around the world look up to. I guess that's inappropriate to put that in a children's zoo and garden. I didn't know that. And it's just insane that we're apparently calling this a hate crime against the church, you know? Like, there's actual hate crimes out there that occur all the time, and this is what we're calling a hate crime, you know? Like, this is ridiculous. You have to be against the church in order to hold these evil beliefs. Do you hear yourself talk? There's no way she believes anything she's saying, and if she does, she needs to be put into some sort of mental institution. There's no way any human being believes anything they're saying when it goes this far. Apparently, it's like violence incited by the Ku Klux Klan, which, may I add, actually swears to uphold Christian morality. Yeah, that group that you just said is inciting all that violence that this is apparently akin to. They apparently uphold that Christian morality. Now, the good thing is virtually every Christian denomination denounces the KKK because, well, I mean, it's pretty apparent why. But yeah, even though that group doesn't really, they don't really have ties to Christianity, I mean, they swear to uphold Christian morality. Doesn't necessarily make much sense to try and compare that. It's uncomparable. Like, this group has caused so much hatred, anger, violence, death, etc. throughout history, and you're really trying to say something that's stupid? Lynn Quinzer, City of Lincoln's ombudsman, informed Schuppen that the statue was in fact part of an art project sponsored by Campus Life and Youth for Christ Lincoln, a nonprofit faith-based community organization in Lincoln. So to put it very simply, a Christian organization is the one that basically put this sculpture up in the first place. So no, it's not like some, devil-worshipping group or whatever put up the Spider-Man sculpture, even though that would be pretty gangster regardless. No, these God-worshipping, Christ-loving people were the ones who put it up in the first place. This is not a City of Lincoln art installation. Serving Hands is a public art project that features 6-foot-tall fiberglass hand sculptures modeled after other public art projects, her email read. The goal was to have 50 sculptures displayed in Lincoln from May 1st to August of 2019. With an art auction of the pieces to benefit the Campus Life to follow, Ombudsman went on to say that the city would not ask the Campus Life to remove the statue as it was placed on private property by the permission of the property owners. So this is not on public property. They have no right to tell anyone to take this down. I mean, once it's on private property, you're good to go. If you own that land, it's pretty much yours to say whatever with. They told Fox News that the statue was first displayed without the noteworthy spider webs on May 15th by artist Ian Lang. He said 2 weeks later the webs were added and the statue's resemblance to Spider-Man seemed undeniable. I mean, it was already undeniable without the webs being on it. You simply didn't need to put webs on that for me to be able to say, oh, that's Spider-Man. I mean, you can see the webs etched into the hands. You can see the wrist, the outline. I mean, that's Spider-Man, dude. Schuppen argued in a separate email that while she does not follow the superhero series, go figure, she's familiar with the character and does not see the traditional red and blue color scheme, which is featured in the original comic. Well, Jesus, man. A later rendition of Spider-Man does show the original character in red and black. I mean, Spider-Man's had so many different suits with so many different designs over time. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm not even a huge fan of Spider-Man. Like, I like Spider-Man, but not that much, and even I know stuff like that, man. Like, it's insane how far this woman's really reaching to try and get this one to be satanic and demonic, man. And here's my thing, and I know people are going to disagree with me because it's going to hurt their feelings to hear this, and that's completely fine. You can feel free to disagree with me on this one, but, I mean, that's the great thing about this. Here in the United States, we have this thing called the freedom of religion, which means that you're free to celebrate, any religious belief that you want without, persecution from the government, without them, intervening and stuff like that. So, I mean, let's just say hypothetically that some, Satan-worshipping group, cult religious group or whatever, did come along and make some Spider-Man, big project here. And this woman, was kind of right, and it was some Satan-worshipping sculpture. It's on private property, and they have freedom of religion. You can't just go around trying to bully other people's beliefs simply because you don't like them. I mean, it's funny how people are when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, she thinks, oh, it's hateful towards Christianity. It's horrible towards Christianity. This is a hate crime towards Christianity, while at the same time she's, like, trying to silence the other side of this whole thing. I mean, the city of Lincoln has to treat pretty much all religions with the same exact respect and has to treat them pretty much under the same rule. And since it's on private property, I mean, they couldn't really do anything in the first place. But, I mean, this whole thing is just ridiculous in the first place because it was a Christian group that put it up. It wasn't like it was some satanic group. But even if it was, it wouldn't matter. Because at the end of the day, think about it. What is one satanic Spider-Man statue out of the 900,000, Christian churches and statues in the area? What is it going to do? What is it going to affect? Find something else to get offended about. It is a Spider-Man statue. It has webs. It is clearly Spider-Man. You're delusional. You're psychotic. This is ridiculous. I blasted the microphone. I apologize for that. But this is ridiculous. We're getting offended over Spider-Man statues. Just think about that. There are grown women out here offended over a Spider-Man statue and are declaring that it is a hate crime against an entire religion of people. The world really is that ridiculous, folks. The United States really is that ridiculous. I mean, I love living here, but God, man, sometimes I don't blame other countries for laughing at us sometimes. Especially, I mean, look at this story and tell me that you wouldn't blame somebody for laughing at us. I mean, look at this. So I guess the moral of the story, honestly, is, you know, just don't make a superhero statue because it's gonna upset somebody. Don't. If you have a favorite superhero and you just want to make a nice statue for the kids, just to give them something to look at and have something nice to see on the way to the zoo, you know, to get excited for, hey, I really like Spider-Man, Dad. I like that statue. Isn't that cool, son? Look at that big statue over there. Don't do it, because people are going to get upset and people are going to have a mental breakdown over, because apparently it's a devil-worshipping thing. Dude, they just literally will make anything something. Can we please stop? Can we please stop getting offended over statues, folks? Anyways, that's going to be it for this video, you guys. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on my channel. Follow me over on Twitter at @SubToOptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates over there. It's a surefire way to get notifications of all my newest content. Join the Discord down below. Lots of great things going on down there as well. Make sure to go join Amino as well to see some more of my exclusive content and plenty more over there as well. And thank you to my channel members for your $5 a month. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, getting upset over Spider-Man statues, and signing out.